And like I was talking to my mom in my dream and I was saying like, yeah, I just need someone to lean on at this point of time. And she's like, yeah, I'm here in the best way that I can be. And I was like, oh my God, what is this dream? And I woke up, I was like, it was so real. And I just took it as a sign. It's like, like God telling me like, yeah, she's still very present. Like, appreciate that. And as much as maybe she doesn't have like a conversation with you, like she feels you, like when I'm sitting there, sometimes I'm just crying or like tired. She's like, are you okay? She's like holding me like that. And that's enough. And yeah, so I think that's what I appreciate lah, and I appreciated having that like dream.
Okay, which brings us to the last part of the show. And I left this at the last part because it's a very serious topic. So it is pretty public knowledge that your mom has dementia.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm a stupid boy. Honestly.
Say that.
I guess a lot of people can relate to this. That my understanding of dementia is as simple as this person forgets. Forgets people, mostly it's people or like forget themselves, right? And I'm pretty sure of course, there's deeper meanings or rather deeper understanding of dementia. And I feel like a lot of people don't know. And you are currently your mom's caretaker. Caregiver, sorry. Caregiver. And I want to know more lah. So when you first found out that your mom has dementia, and I'm sure there were some things that were happening before that. What are like some signs?
So one big sign for me was that last time she would always buy prata for us for breakfast. And then suddenly there was one particular morning where she came to my room and she was holding the prata in her hand and she was like, Moon, I bought this. And she couldn't find the word for it. And to me, I'm like, oh, what? Prata lah? Like, why do you not know the word prata? And she just couldn't find the word for it at all. And I was like, prata? And then she's like, yeah, I bought this. And then, so that alarmed me a little bit. So, okay, wait, but going back, I think there were also like little signs where, she would forget certain things or like call me Ziad, for example, or call me like, my other sister's names. But to me, I was like, okay, it's small things, right? And then she would forget certain things, but it was always like, okay, like we forget all the time, like it doesn't matter. But I think it was that moment where she couldn't even find the word for something so everyday, something that she knows. I was like, what's happening here? Like there's something not right here. And then that coupled with, there was one time where, she left the key at the gate and then she went into this like sort of panic mode where she like, I can't find the key. And, we were just searching for it and we were like, what's happening? And she was just so anxious about it. And then in the end, it's at the gate. So like, I think those two events were something that sparked mine and my brother's attention. And we thought like, okay, maybe go GP and get checked. So we got a blood test. And what the GP told us was that they were looking at the levels for folic acid. So if it's normal level, then suspected that it could be dementia. But if it's like at a lower level, then that could also affect your memory and stuff like that. Got back the results. It was normal. So we were like, okay, let's go get this tested lah. So they went to do a scan. And the worst thing was I was away, like I was in Japan for work at that point of time. So I couldn't be there on the day where she got her results. But I remember my brother calling me and telling me like, okay, we got the diagnosis and yeah, she has frontotemporal dementia. And I was away and I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't even
fathom.
Comprehend. Yeah. Like, I couldn't comprehend like what was happening. Like I didn't know what to feel. I was just like, oh shit, like I've always heard of dementia, right? But then like I think you don't know it until like it's right there at your door. So I was talking to her and I was like, oh, are you okay? And all that. And she was completely fine, I think she also like couldn't process it at that point of time. And she was still quite aware when she got the diagnosis, but like semi-aware. So I wasn't sure whether she truly understood it. I think she sort of did, but we had already lost a bit of her by then. And she was quite young, like early 60s when she got the diagnosis. And that's, I think, considered quite young according to the doctors. So yeah, that was when my world just like turned around, because I was like, what is this? Like, how do I even deal with this?
Yeah. And okay, again, I'm a stupid boy.
No, it's okay.
Is dementia like genetical?
So what I found out speaking to some doctors is that there's and correct me if I'm wrong, doctors. Still want to say be doctor, but like there's a gene, I think, and in you, but whether it's activated or not. So I can't quite tell whether she got it genetically, but after sort of knowing that, it also made me question like, okay, am I at risk of it? Should I kind of be looking out for signs, especially for early onset dementia, which is getting more and more common, right? In younger people. So yeah, there was that thought that crossed my mind, like every now and then also, when I feel a certain way. No.
Okay.
Not at present. I think so far there's nothing quite alarming yet. But I think knowing, don't say you're stupid, because like when I found out about dementia, so I know nothing about it. Like I just knew, okay, there's this thing going around, but you really don't know it until you read into it. So yeah, it's only now that I know of it and I'm living with, my mom who has dementia, that I learn about early onset dementia. I possibly can sort of look out for signs of it and know that, okay, it's something that maybe I have to check for or deal with at some point of time, maybe.
So names is something they will forget?
Yeah. So, okay, with dementia is a whole umbrella, right? And then under it, there are different things like Alzheimer's is quite common. And then my mom is frontotemporal dementia. So with her, dementia is losing words. So that's why, she couldn't find the word for prata. Like she's just kind of calling things like a chair, she would call like a switch or something. She's just sort of jumbling words and language. And at the end of it, the symptoms are quite similar, where, they start forgetting and, they change in personality. But every person with dementia goes through different changes at different points of time. So it's very hard to pinpoint. And what I realized is that seeing her change, it's been like, I think she got the diagnosis 2015. So how long already?
Oh, almost 10 years.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
9 years.
Yeah. So I think like seeing that change, seeing her change from the point of diagnosis, it's a really big change. Like sometimes I stop to think and like, she was this like really sharp, very, very smart person, in her younger days. And she was always hard on us on like homework, on English. So I think if she met you, confirm kena like your grammar incorrect, she'll take out the dictionary. In her prime days, she was like super sharp. So to see her deteriorate that way, like it breaks my heart. And in the early stages of it, when she started to see that she wasn't able to do things like, like spell out things or like do like simple math and stuff, she asked me also like, why can't I do this? Like there was that anxiety in her, like, why am I not able to do this? Because before that I could, so it was quite a difficult conversation to deal with. And at that point of time, me and my brother were also like taught by the doctors or professionals to say like, okay, you need to do all these activities to keep the brain active. But then we saw that it was crushing her spirit. It was making her feel insecure about herself. So we're like, okay, don't push it. Like, I think the core of it is to keep her happy and safe.
That was my next question actually. Is there a way to slow it down? Like for example, like maybe bad comparison, by diabetes, you can slow it down.
Yeah.
But like, is there a way to slow dementia down?
Yeah, so the deterioration is inevitable, but yeah, there are steps to sort of slow down the speed at which it deteriorates. But personally, we felt like at what expense, like you do have to keep your brain active and all that, and we did do that. We tried to push her to do it, and there were times where she didn't want to do it. She was like, I don't want to do it because it just makes her feel bad. But we were like, no, just do it because the doctor said must. But then we realized like it just wasn't doing her good because she got anxious. She felt bad about herself. I'm like, at what expense, like I just have to make sure that she's just happy, like just do things that she actually wants. And my mom, she was a piano teacher before. So the amazing thing about music is that I feel like you don't lose it. So she still plays the piano quite proficiently, I feel like, at this stage, like, in the last few months, like there are times where she gets it wrong. But as soon as I play it with her, and then she can like kind of listen and then she can play it. So like, if that's what she loves, then okay, I'll let her keep her brain active by doing what she loves.
Yeah.
So it's a whole learning process, like, and it's ever changing. Like next month, I might have to, reshift how we take care of her.
Yeah.
And find something else that works for her.
So what are the extra cares, or like what's very like, how do you actually take care of someone with dementia apart from like basic needs? Right? Yeah, is there like special things you need to do?
So like I asked the doctor this once, and this was some years back because she was, slowly starting to lose the ability to form proper sentences or have conversations. So I was like, so how do we communicate with her? And the doctor was like, you both, like my brother also acts. And she's like, the doctor was like, oh, you both are actors, just go with the flow. And the thing with like a person with dementia, you can't like fight it. So like, let's say like if my mom wants to put the cup here and the cup doesn't belong here, I cannot like, oh, no, don't do that, because then she gets anxious about like, oh my God, I'm doing it wrong. You just gotta, okay lah, let it be. Like just go with the flow. And if she doesn't want to do something or she wants to do something her way, just go with the flow. If she's talking about something, just roll with it.
Even though it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, even though it doesn't make sense.
Also, don't challenge.
Yeah, don't challenge, because that will only like shake them. Shake them and frustrate them and like cause them to be a bit more anxious.
Especially knowing that they have dementia lah.
Yeah. Or maybe not even, like, I can only speak from my experience, but like, for example, with my mom, like if I challenge her and say like, no, don't do that. And then she'll be so heightened. She's like, why? Am I doing something wrong? And she gets like anxious about it. But like, why would I need to do that, Like it just doesn't help the situation at all. It causes her stress, causes me stress as well. So I think a lot of patience is needed and a lot of just kind of reading her. And the good thing is that, my brother, me and my dad, we're her primary caregivers, and we sort of are close to her and we sort of can read her or what she needs. So that helps a lot.
Let's say she's really doing something wrong.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if she's really doing something like wrong, like detrimental to her safety and all, then yes, then of course I will protect her. Yeah. But if it's something really trivial and like there's no need to alarm her or whatever, then yeah, we'll just kind of roll with it. Yeah. It's all about just keeping her happy, in a good mood and safe.
And do people with dementia know that they have dementia?
Some are aware. I think my brother had known this lady, one of his friend's mom, who was very aware that she had dementia. But for my mom, I think she's gotten to the point where she's not quite aware of what's happening, like. And I guess sometimes it's hard to understand, but like she would ask me things like, why is this happening? Like not in the recent years, but before that, she would ask like, why is this happening? What is going on with me? Like, why do I feel this way? And I would explain it, but I'm not too sure like whether she grasps it or not. Yeah, so I really don't know. I wish sometimes I could get into her mind and understand what the world looks like to her, but all I can do is just like sit by her.
And what's the, I mean, like, if there's a scale, right? What's the end of the scale of like dementia? They totally forget everything?
Yeah.
Or is there like a cap of,
Per cat.
a cap? Like, for example, if you have dementia, the most you will lose is 50% of your knowledge.
I don't think there's a cap. I feel like I said, like with every person with dementia, they go through different sort of paths, right? Of where they end up. But I think, yeah, you just kind of live with it till the very end lah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not like, is there a possibility that one day it's just, she looks at you and like, who are you?
Possibly, yeah.
So
there is a possibility, yeah. I think even now, like she calls me mama a lot. So I'm like, okay lah, yes, mother, I'm mother. But like now, like there are times like where she would say things like, oh, hey Moon, or something like that. She knows that I'm Moon. But there are also times where I don't know whether she understands who I am to her, like whether I'm her daughter or not, but she knows me as like this safe person, like this comfort zone. And she knows my dad as like, okay, this comfort zone, my brother also. So like she recognizes us like in beings, but I don't know if she like says like, hey, you're my daughter, you know, like, yeah. But a lot of times lately she's just calling me mama. So I'm like, yes, that is it, yeah.
But does that affect you?
No.
Yeah.
I think because I know that she still knows that I'm here. I think there was a point of time where, you know, I even like had a thought of like, oh my God, like I wish I had her to speak to. Like, you know, like a mother figure, you know, like I wish I could tell her all my boy problems and stuff like that. You know, but then like, oh my God, like I don't think I told you this, but like, yeah, so there was a phase of time where I just said like, oh, I wish I had a mother figure. Like, and I felt so guilty for thinking that, right? I was like, how can I think this? Like, she's going through this. But at the same time, I felt like I just wanted to have her to lean on. And then a few nights later, like I had this dream and it was my mom. And like I was talking to my mom in my dream and I was saying like, yeah, I just need someone to lean on at this point of time. And she's like, yeah, I'm here in the best way that I can be. And I was like, oh my God, what is this dream? And I woke up, I was like, it was so real. And I just took it as a sign. It's like, you know, like God's telling me like, yeah, she's still very present. Like appreciate that. And as much as maybe she doesn't have like a conversation with you, like she feels you, you know, like when I'm sitting there sometimes like just crying or like tired, she's like just, are you okay? She's like holding me like that. And that's enough. And yeah, so I think that's what I appreciate lah. And I appreciated having that like dream thing.
You know, I ask myself, like, if let's say one day I really forget everything,
yeah,
it might be insensitive to talk to you about this.
Never mind, just say.
Is there beauty in that?
Oh.
And I think
yes.
Yeah. Because let's say if a few months before I die, I really forget everything. The beauty in that is that I'm not conscious to know what I'm leaving behind.
Yeah.
I die very peacefully.
Yeah.
Like I die as a newborn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like my dad said this, he like one day he was like, I think when the height of COVID was happening and everyone was just stressed and all that, right? And he was like, you know what? I think I'm glad that Mama is protected where she's not fully aware of the stress of what the world is going through. And she just has us to take care of her. Like in some ways, like, yeah, you know, like you're not like bombarded by all these stresses. You just know that you are in a safe environment. So when he said that, I was like, oh, that's a different way of looking at it.
Beauty in it.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question for you. Would you rather forget everything or not be able to make new memories?
Forget everything.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you live that really. It's hard to say also, but
Yeah. I
And-
understand. Yeah.
when it comes to the age, forget everything. And I feel that's why when I ask myself this
But
question,
able to make new memories.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
and as in, I think if you ask anybody,
Yeah.
they will rather look forward into the future than what
Yeah.
had happened already. So like me, if let's say I am inching closer to death, of
Yeah.
course I want to live life to the
Live in the
fullest.
now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Correct.
get more memories and everything. But yeah, and I feel like, should I forget everything? Feel like there's
You would
beauty in
accept
that.
it. Yeah.
There's really beauty. And if I'm not aware that I even have dementia, then it won't affect me. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like with my mom, like, like as long as she has people to keep her safe, like that's my biggest thing. And to make her feel loved, like I think that's enough. Yeah. Okay lah.
Yeah, that's a good end. Okay, we end. So we come to the end of this episode. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys have any questions about dementia, don't ask Munah. Please Google it.
Or you can go to Dementia Singapore. They were a great resource for me.
Yeah.
When my mom was first diagnosed. So
No, I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say, it's not that don't ask Munah because she's not qualified. Or what I'm trying to say is don't disturb her lah. Like it's a very sensitive.
Oh no, but you can ask me. Like I'm very happy to talk about it because I feel like sometimes like finding people who are going through same experiences helps a lot. Yeah. So yes, please do.
Yeah, and I think you spoke about some of the early signs, and if you think that you're seeing these signs in your loved ones, go get it checked fast and quickly so you will know what to do. And that's all for today. We've come to the end. Thank you, Munah, for coming.
Thank you, dude, for
Hopefully,
doing this.
Just Saying, the normal Just Saying will come back with Jade Rasif, Jackie, and everybody else. But not so soon lah.
Yeah, wait lah. We watch Just Say Solo first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll bring Just Saying Solo until episode 100 and then we'll go back to that.
Support. And then remember to subscribe.
Yes, if you guys have anything you'd like me to talk about or anyone you'd like me to invite, let me know in the comment section below. If not, I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye-bye.